Hey, how's it going, everyone? Hope you guys are having a great day. So, I decided to come up with this ridiculous challenge here just to see if it would actually work. So, what I'm going to do is see if it's possible to beat a challenge mode park on Jurassic difficulty without using a single dinosaur. So, you might be surprised with the results on this one. Let's jump right in here. So starting off here, the first thing I did is make myself a science center. Obviously, you're going to need that because you need to research some things. And so going forward, the next thing I did is I made a hatchery. Now, I know I said I'm not going to use any dinosaurs, but you need to actually incubate a dinosaur in order to unlock the ranger teams. But there's a trick to this that you can use. So I went ahead and made the hatchery, but we aren't going to be using any dinosaurs. So I did a few of the basic first researches you need, and then what we researched here was the viewing gallery, because to unlock what we need, we're going to need an operational viewing gallery. So I just went ahead and threw it down right here, connected it, and then once that is built, that's going to allow us to unlock the guest attractions. So now that we've researched guest attractions, it's time to unveil the star of this show, which is the Innovation Center. So the Innovation Center is a building that gives you a certain amount of appeal per building. And typically, it would be worth building one or two in your park for a little bit of an additional appeal boost. But they do take up a pretty good amount of space, which is why I don't typically advise using more than one or two of them. But on this particular park, you have a pretty good amount of space. So that's why I kind of thought to myself, I wonder if I can fit enough of them in here to get myself to 5 stars. So I started with just 2 of these, and then I put down each one of the guest amenities to increase my guest comfort. So once I got my guest comfort up a little bit, I went ahead and started laying out how I wanted to place these. I'm going to kind of put them in a row, and then you could see in the meantime I had a couple scientists working on getting the Struthiomimus genome. And the reason we need that genome is because you need to incubate a dinosaur in order for you to unlock the ranger teams. And you'll need the ranger teams in order to repair your buildings when a storm happens. So now that this Struthiomimus is incubated, we're not even going to really release it. What we're going to do is we're going to click Release via Airlift, and you can see it just popped up Research Available Ranger and Capture Teams, and then just back out of that. And now you don't have to release that Struthiomimus, and this research will now be available for you to do. And then I went ahead and I just demolished this hatchery. I wasn't sure if it was actually going to let me, so I moved it over there in the corner first, but then I realized it was going to let me demolish it. So I just went ahead and demolished it, so now we don't have any dinosaurs in the park, but we have the ranger teams available. So I still, to this point, haven't released a single dinosaur. So now what I started doing is I started building in a row here, and then I would just check this view every so often and see if I needed amenities, and then I would just place in shops where they were needed. So here you can start to see the layout that I'm going for. I'm getting a row on one side, a row on the other side, and the row that's on the right side has a little bit of a gap between it and the path, so that way we can fit amenities and hotels and anything else we need in there for the guest comforts. So the one thing here that you can see that I also needed to save space for was the monorail, because your transport rating is important. Now the monorail can be a little bit more of a pain because it requires a decent amount of space, but also the Innovation Center is too tall for the monorail to go underneath, so you actually kind of have to plan around that. So you can see here that a lot of times what I was doing was just taking the monorail right directly over the path. So here we have our first storm that happened, and I had to hurry up and build a response facility because I realized I didn't have one. And then, yeah, I just went through and manually repaired everything real quick with the ranger team, but otherwise didn't really have any issues. Without there being dinosaurs in the park, you don't have to worry about dinosaurs breaking out. You just have to go and repair your buildings. So as I'm just kind of building along here, just building more and more of these things, I go to place this one down, and I get one of these random events to pop up. So I end up electing to have it take 4 times longer to build this, but I get $1 million because of it. And then because I have that $1 million, I'm able to go ahead and just place down 2 or 3 more of these things in rapid succession. So you can see here at this point, our game time is 48 minutes. We have no dinosaurs, and we're at almost 3.5 stars. And our income at this point is allowing us to pretty much buy one of these innovation centers every single minute. So at this point, we've built all the way down to the bottom of the map in a row. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start to work our way back up in a separate row. So we're making really good progress here, but we have our second storm at this point. But honestly, like I said before, without having any dinosaurs in your park, having a storm really isn't that big of a deal. Now, having all these buildings means that it is going to take a minute and it's going to cost you a decent amount to repair all of them, but really it's not that big of a deal. So at this point, we have a ridiculous amount of these things in here, and look at our park. It is looking absolutely ridiculous, but we're almost to 4 stars at this point. So at this point, we have 32 innovation centers, which has given us 76% appeal and almost 4.5 stars. So at this point, I actually started getting nervous that if I didn't release a single dinosaur, I wouldn't end up winning. So I placed down this hatchery just in case, and I got this. Endangered species on site. It gave me the option to gain $2 million. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. So I went ahead and connected this. And what I did was I went ahead and incubated a Struthia mimus just in case. Because essentially what I was going to do is get to 5 stars. And if for some reason we couldn't get 5 stars or complete this park without, completing this little mission down here in the bottom right where it says to release any dinosaur, I was going to just release a single Struthie. But we don't end up needing to do that, and I didn't end up releasing it. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a time lapse here in the background that you can see as I'm just building some more stuff here. And the important thing on here is to remember to keep enough space to put like these monorail stations and to put like your amenities. You're going to need shops, and even though you don't have any dinosaurs, you're still going to need emergency shelters, restrooms, and hotels and all that. So if you're going to do this challenge, make sure that you leave enough room for all these shops and everything like you can see me doing here. So just kind of space stuff out just a little bit. So as we're kind of coming up here on the final stretch, and I'm waiting on this monorail to finish building, I kind of just had to go through, build a couple more of these innovation centers, and then just kind of covering these gaps where there's restroom coverage that needs put in, or some guest shelters. Also making sure to adjust all the modules on these amenities to just get as much money out of them as you possibly can. So once I got all the modules adjusted on these shops here, it actually put me to the 5-star mark at an absolutely insane time. 1 hour, 19 minutes. That is unbelievably fast. My previous fastest time, where I thought that I wasn't going to be able to beat that time, was 4 hours. So this method was actually insanely good and insanely fast. So as awesome of a strategy as this was on this particular map, I don't think that it would actually work on most of the other maps. I have a hunch that it might work on one other map. I'll test it at some point here soon and make a video for that too. But the reason that it works on this map is because there's a lot of extra space. And with having a lot of extra space, I mean, it just makes it to where these things, they do work. So you can see we were at 92% appeal. We didn't even fully hit that 100% appeal, but because all of our other stats were so high, and we were making so much money from our drink shops and everything, you actually didn't quite have to hit that. But this is what the park looks like in the end. Looks absolutely ridiculous, but it worked. So for anybody that's curious, I had a total of 39 innovation centers. And you can see right there, no dinosaurs. I didn't release a single one the entire time. So there you have it, guys. There's the answer to the question. Can you get 5 stars on a Jurassic difficulty park using no dinosaurs? And the answer for this particular park, which is the Germany park, is yes. Yes, you can. And it actually works really, really well. So I originally just planned to do this as kind of a joke, just as a experiment, just to see how close we could get to 5 stars without putting any dinosaurs. I didn't expect to actually be able to fully get 5 stars, and I definitely didn't expect to get 5 stars in like an hour which is absolutely nuts. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for watching today. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun to go through and test this. I do plan to test at least one more map to see if it's possible, because I think there might be one more that we can actually pull this off on. So anyways, guys, thanks again. I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.